Hello everyone. I wanted to do a video on TMS. I know a lot of people on my page have muscle tension dysphonia, but this is not just for you guys. It is also for chronic pain sufferers with back pain, tendinitis, fibromyalgia, neck and shoulder pain, all of that stuff. Especially if you go to the doctor and they don't believe you or they don't know how to help you and they're telling you everything is fine, but clearly nothing is fine. So let's get into it. TMS, also known as tension myositis syndrome, also known as the mind and body connection, or kind of like the mind and body disorder. In a nutshell, TMS is a mind and body condition. So it's an expression of what you are feeling in your mind physically. So I know some people hate to hear this because the first response usually is, oh, okay, so I'm just making it up and you're saying that my pain is just psychological, like how is that going to help me? What I'm saying is, yes, your pain is psychological, but it's real. It is neurological pain pathways that your mind has learned to deal with pain. It's a loop. Okay, so in my personal experience, my pain started with maybe an injury, not really an injury, but a shift in my career. And I was under a lot of stress. And it was a big career shift. I started teaching music full-time, using my voice very heavily all of a sudden when I usually a very quiet person. And I was gigging heavily, I still do, with a rock and roll band, yelling on the mic every night. So I developed pre-polyp issues here. I developed muscle tension dysphonia. And I had a lot of bad experiences with doctors telling me that I should quit singing, making me feel bad, saying I'm doing things wrong, saying that I have acid reflux. Yeah. So that's my story. And I've had it for 7 years and I've done everything. I have retrained my voice with the best speech therapists in the country at Boston, Mass General Hospital. Dr. Burns, if you're around, go to Dr. Burns. I see a classically trained vocal coach with a contemporary edge, because I sing contemporary every week now for over 3 years. I've done yoga, I've done meditation, I have done, you name it, I've probably done it, especially if it's holistic, because I'm not into the pills, but I don't judge anyone that tries them, because I understand you want to try anything to get rid of this freaking pain. But so I did all of that, all the retraining, right? Even the posture changing, going to the chiropractor 3 times a week for 6 months. And yes, I got to a place, and I have gotten to a place where, okay, I can talk, I can sing, I have pain-free days, pain-free months, but I still have chronic pain. So I was like, oh man. So, I would go on the computer, just try to look up, what could this be? And then I kind of stumbled upon the mind and body connection, TMS, and I'm like, wow, maybe this is me. Because my pain manifests in different ways. Sometimes it'll be here. Sometimes it'll be here. Sometimes it'll be here. Sometimes it'll be here. Here, arms, hands, lower back, sometimes my feet, sometimes my stomach. It's all over the place. So I was like, well, how can this be an injury if every time I wake up, the pain is somewhere else, So for me, I just felt like maybe it was TMS. And beyond that, I started to feel like my body was in a fight or flight response always. And I would try to tell doctors this. I would be like, I feel like my body, my nervous system is in this fight or flight response. And it's so tight all the time. My muscles are tight. I am ready to fight. I am ready to flee. My breathing is short. I do all these things, yoga, meditation. Nothing helps. I tell myself to relax. Obviously, That doesn't help either. I'm like, what's going on here? And the doctors would just be like, I don't know, go to a psychologist. And so I'm like, okay. But I thought about it and I'm like, oh man, the mind and body connection, it's how I feel in my mind often. I feel very anxious. I feel very afraid of the world. I feel emotions incredibly strongly as an artist. I have borderline personality disorder, which they say people with these kind of disorders, emotional disorders, whatever, are more likely to have these things. I care more about other people than myself a lot of the time. I put myself in the back burner, this and that. So where was I going with that? Not a great talker. I'm trying to be. I have my notes. So what I was saying was that my mind feels like my body. And when I get upset, I can feel the burning coming in. If I'm in the studio, which I can't stand the studio, I get so freaking upset and nervous. The pain, when I started taking piano lessons again, I had put so much high expectation on myself, and I viewed my piano teacher as this teacher that maybe I had to do 45 minutes per day, which was totally untrue. Like, she's super nice, but that's the feelings I had, and I could never, live up to that expectation. And so all of a sudden, when I sit down at the piano, my back aches, burns, it aches so bad, and my back never aches when I sit down otherwise, only at the piano. I'm sitting down right now, completely fine. At the piano, I can't even sit. I'm crying by the time I stop practicing. I am aching. My arms and my hands start to ache, and then I noticed a pattern of behavior. I wouldn't go to piano lessons because I'm in too much pain. I have to go to the doctor. I'm in too much pain. I have excuses to not play piano, right? So it's this idea that the body is sending these pain signals for a few reasons. So the body is giving you pain because maybe it feels like you're in a fight or flight response. So, pain is the necessary response. Or maybe your body is translating, pain so you can get out of commitments, even if you really don't want to on the surface level, maybe deep down in your subconscious, like me, maybe I want to get out of these piano lessons, or there's got to be a way around this. I'm freaking out, I'm panicking. So the body is giving me pain. And it may seem like a weird concept, but if you think about it, think about phantom limb syndrome. People who lose their limbs still feel pain in that limb that is no longer there. So the brain can produce pain for no reason. And the brain is very clever too. So it knows when I sit at the piano, I'm using my hands and my arms. So it's like, oh, I'm going to put the pain in her hands and arms and make her think that maybe she's doing something wrong on the piano, so I won't be found out that, I'm using this coping mechanism, this pain coping mechanism to get around this. And if I stare the pain in the face, it can't really do it anymore, right? It wouldn't be a coping mechanism anymore if I knew its whole purpose, because its whole purpose is to distract me. Okay. So I hope I'm explaining this well. I'm not the best at explaining things, I don't think, but anyways, so you guys right now, I'll put the link below, go to tmswiki.org, and at the top of the page, you'll see the free pain program, and click on that. I highly recommend this program. I started it a few months ago, and it is a 21-day program, and it's just like a page a day that you read and you try to incorporate in your life. I ended up binging the whole thing in a few days because I wanted to know so badly what it was all about. And I also read this book, Unlearn Your Pain, a 28-day process to reprogram your brain. And also Heal Your Back Pain by John Sarno. It's the same idea. You can just apply MTD or whatever chronic illness you have to it. And I would do this pain program. So the pain program is, if anything, it's a better way to cope with your pain. And it's a way for you to live your life, not necessarily pain-free. Remember that everyone has pain in their life. So I don't think the expectation of living a life with no pain ever is a good expectation to have, because then you're always going to feel upset. So I would like go into it with an open mind, no expectations, and start there, you know? That way you're going to have a better time. And I think a better time in life too, right? So basically what they're saying is you're in this pain loop, right? You feel the pain, and then you think about the pain all day, right? You're like, oh my God, as soon as I talk, I'm going to have more pain. And in your mind remembers that it's had pain before when you sang or you talked. So then it's going to give you more pain again. And you're frustrated and you're angry, and the pain gets worse and worse and worse. And you're just talking about it and thinking about it and posting about it all day, every day. And that's the pain loop. You got to break that pain loop. So the TMS program teaches you how to respond differently to your pain. So now when I have pain, I'm like, oh, I see what you're doing there, body. I see that maybe you're stressed and upset and you want a distraction or a way to express yourself. If you're stuffing emotions away, your body is expressing trauma. It could be many things. Everyone's different, or it could be a mixture of everything. And then I explore the pain. I'm like, oh, it's a throbbing, it's a burning, it's here, it's a little there. And I try to really just kind of observe the pain without responding emotionally. Obviously, this isn't always going to happen. You just got to practice it. And then I just go on about my day. You know, I try to observe it for a while, and then I'm like, oh, body, you're just acting up. I'm going to get on with my life. And 9 times out of 10, the pain just goes away. There's no purpose for it. I am not feeding that pain loop. I am not responding to that pain loop. I'm not feeding that pain loop with frustration, tears, anger, self-loathing, or I try not to. I know we've all been there, and we all will be there again. But that's what you try to do in this program. And then you lean into your feelings too. So then you kind of try to, like for me, I got to a place in my life, recently where I'm like, I'm doing so much for other people, and it's killing me. In my job, I bend over backwards way more than I should, to help people. And it hurts me because it puts me, it's asking so much of myself, too much of myself. So I stop doing that. I say no, 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 instead of yes all the time. Because I usually avoid confrontation. That's another thing. I started confronting things. So I don't want to get into it specifically, but I had to do 2 breakups recently. Not with boyfriends or anything. I'm still with my beautiful boyfriend. 2 relationship breakups. I don't want to get into the specifics, but I was avoiding that for a long time. And I was so terrified of confrontation. I love to people please. I do not want to confront anyone. I want everyone to be happy. Who cares if I'm happy? But that's what's been killing me too. Repressed feelings and emotions. Who cares if I'm happy? What? I have to care if I'm happy. I have to be happy. I don't want to be in pain anymore. So I confronted these people. I confronted these situations, and I cut them off, and I'm like, I feel better. I can't believe this. I feel lighter. I feel less weighed down, So I started looking into my life, and seeing what needs to be changed. And of course, there's always something to work on, and I've been feeling completely overloaded with this whole music business thing. And I got myself a manager. I asked the universe for a manager. Please help me, God or universe, to make my life more manageable, to take some weight off my shoulders, to take this pain off of me, to take this emotional pain that's turned physical off of me. And I noticed relief. So I just wanted to share that with you guys because it's been life-changing, and my pain is far less. And if it's there, I actually know what to do now. I don't have to freak out or be like, what is this? Something's wrong with me, you know? I must have injured myself again, this or that, or poor me, like chronic pain, it's awful, you know? And of course that's going to make the pain worse, at least in my opinion. It does. How could it not? So instead, choosing to feel good, telling my body I'm safe, I'm okay, I'm not in any danger here, asking your body, what's wrong? Did something happen? Are you reacting to something? Do you need to express something? And then, instead of practicing frustration and anger and all of that, I practice joy. So instead, I smile, very happy, even if I want to cry and scream inside. And it starts to change how you feel inside. Your neurological pathways are changing. Because remember, your subconscious brain is an animal, right? We're animals. And your body can't really differentiate. I don't know how to say that word. It can't tell the difference between anger, or if a bear is about to attack you, or anxiety, or if someone's about to murder you. So then it's like, and it gets all tense and stiff, and maybe that's creating more pain, and it's trying to protect you, right? It doesn't know the difference. So you have to tell your body over and over, you're safe, you're okay, I'm not in any danger here, and I must express my emotions too. So if I'm angry, let it out, let it go, let it come through you. If I'm anxious, address it, and love yourself, give yourself some compassion, try to figure out why you're anxious, maybe make a list of things you can control and things you cannot control, and let go of the things you can't control, and the things you can control and change, do something about it, right? So I know this is like a lot of information, but I hope it helps even just one person, So yes, TMS, mind and body connection. There's even a Netflix, there's a new Netflix show about it. What is it called? I don't know. Mind body connection Netflix. I hope I can find it. I think it's this. I hope. Oh, I found it. It's called Heal on Netflix. HEAL. I haven't watched it yet. But they're saying it's stories from spiritual leaders, physicians, and those with chronic illnesses reveal the powerful connection between the human psyche and physical health. So to wrap it all up, if you're in chronic pain, please look into this with an open mind, because Western medicine is letting us down by keeping the mind and body completely separate. But the thing is, they are one thing, How you feel in your mind is how you're going to feel in your body. I have a good friend with manic depression, and when she is in the winter and sad, she looks different in her body. She looks like this. And in the summer, she is gorgeous. She looks like this. And she's like radiating, and she's so beautiful, And I guess that's just like an example of how you can see what someone is going through inside physically. And some of you may be like, well, I haven't been through any traumas, I don't feel this way or that way, but maybe start exploring that, Everyone's super different, So you have to explore it. Maybe there are emotions that you've repressed. Maybe you don't want to face things. Maybe you don't want to face this certain thing. Maybe, nothing traumatic happened to you, but, in your life, maybe something recently happened, even if it's just with your boss, you don't want to tell them something, or your boyfriend or girlfriend, you don't want to have this confrontation with them, So let me know your thoughts, and I will I know I'm not very great at posting videos all the time, but I want to be. Next time I'm going to post about the Alexander technique, which is somatic tracking as well, just like TMS. I just started, so I took 3 lessons, so I kind of want to wait until I know a little bit more about it, but it's just an extension of what I'm talking about here, but more on like a physical level. Anyways, I'm done chatting. I hope this video wasn't too long. It's kind of long, but I don't know. Sometimes I avoid doing videos because I just feel like I'm just word vomiting all over the place and nothing makes sense and everything has to be perfect, but I'm challenging that. I'm not perfect. I just want to help, and I just want to talk about TMS because I'm very passionate about it, and I'm passionate about healing the mind and the body as a whole. And I know how awful it can be to live with chronic pain. And if, I wish I knew about this TMS program way before, but I probably wasn't even ready for it before. But I highly recommend going in with an open mind. Just go to tmswiki.org, try that free pain program, and see what happens. If anything, it could be a more positive way to cope with what's going on. I love you guys so much. I love the comments. Please keep them coming. I try to answer as many emails as I can and comments. If I don't answer, please email me again. I love you. Bye.